Dive into the behind-the-scenes world of your favorite artists' interviews with us, Shannon Burns, producer Jess, and the entire iHeartRadio team on The Filter Podcast. Grab your headphones. New episodes land every week wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Encore.
Cool.
The stories behind the songs.
Thank you.
Here's iHeartRadio's Miles Galloway.
Hey, you. Welcome to Season 4 of Encore. It's a pleasure to be back. I'm Miles Galloway, and this is the story of Avril Lavigne's girlfriend. By 2007, Avril Lavigne was Canada's undisputed pop-punk queen. The 22-year-old Avril was 2 wildly successful albums deep into a career that seemingly knew no bounds. Her debut, the influential Let Go, had introduced her to the world at the young age of 17 and would go a resounding 6 times platinum in America in less than a year. Songs like Complicated and Sk8er Boi blew up charts worldwide, winning her Juno Awards, MMVAs and MTV VMAs, and granting her critical acclaim with a handful of prestigious GRAMMY Nominations to boot. In fact, to this very day, Let Go remains the best-selling album by a Canadian in the 21st century, outselling efforts from fellow Canadian icons Celine Dion, Michael Bublé, and Nelly Furtado by millions, with over 16 million copies sold. Her follow-up record, 2004's Under My Skin, was a darker, more moody affair that got mixed reviews from critics, but not from fans. It would top the Canadian and US Billboard album charts, also go multi-platinum, and give us such hits as My Happy Ending and Nobody's Home. If you were being picky, you could technically say this record was less successful, selling a mere 10 million records worldwide, putting Avril in the company of artists like Justin Timberlake, Coldplay, Beyoncé, and future ex-husband Chad Kroger's band Nickelback on the global scale. But hey, what did they ever achieve? Actually, they achieved quite a bit, and you can hear all about them in the back catalogue of a little podcast called Encore, the stories behind the songs you love. After touring the world with a grueling 140 dates throughout 2004 and 2005, Avril had entered her 20s and was ready to make some big changes to her music. Clearly, Lavigne had done some great things, but now she was ready to make the best damn thing. One of the major appeals to Avril's music since breaking out in 2002 was her undeniable relatability, originally manifesting itself as this kind of tomboyish, anti-establishment, anti-pop star vibe. Avril had always used co-writers for her music, but had generally pulled from her own lived experiences as a normal Canadian girl when songwriting. People could relate to her because she didn't seem like she'd grown up with a silver spoon. She'd done it her way and followed the beat of her own drum. Her songs were like diary entries for the world to observe. But Avril Lavigne had grown up. She was newly married to fellow Canadian punk icon Derek Whibley. She was living in Los Angeles, and of course was a multi-platinum superstar across the world. Avril could do whatever she wanted, and in late 2006, she updated her blog. Remember those? With a preview of things to come, promising her next album would be fast, fun, young, bratty, aggressive, confident, cocky in a playful way. All the good stuff. Much like this podcast. Lavigne would enter the studio in the summer of 2006 feeling laid back and full of the confidence that being a pop star at the top of her game provided. But she would step out of her comfort zone and begin working with a pre-scandal Dr. Luke, famed Green Day producer Rob Cavallo, as well as her constant collaborator Butch Walker, and of course her husband, Sum 41's Derek Whibley.
Because now that I've made a couple records, going into this one, my 3rd record, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to be super fun and wanted to try new things, and I just feel like it's really strong, and I took my time, and it's really fun. Like, it's going to be the best record to perform live. Like, I'll be able to jump around and run around, and I'm really excited about this.
I feel like this album lyrically and musically is a little more aggressive than before. You know, just in the style of it. Do you feel like that's a testament to where you are personally?
I think lyrically, it's fun and cocky and playful, and it's very like young, and it's like good fun.
Avril had full control of every aspect of the best damn thing, nitpicking every last detail whether the label liked it or not. She had built up enough cachet through her previous works that even something as straightforward as a pre-arranged album cover photo shoot could be scrapped within a day's notice at Lavigne's request. Avril told Leah Miller the story behind the simple but famous album cover.
You know, it's my image and I have to stand behind it 100%, so I pick everything. Derek and I shot the album cover together, like in the valley, like a couple blocks away from here.
You're kidding?
Yeah. He shot it.
Really? That's amazing. So you just came up with everything on your own and you're like, let's go do
Well, I did a photo shoot.
Yeah.
And with a really talented photographer, and he's amazing. And I just looked at all the photos and I was like, the cover's not here. So, Derek, can you take me down to the valley and just shoot me on the street? I was like, just on a street, I don't care. Put me on the sidewalk, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
just shoot me. So, because I was freaking out.
I can imagine.
Because I had a deadline of like 2 days. I had to hand in the album cover, and I was freaking out. So we came down here like a couple blocks away, and I just stood up against a wall, and I'm just literally, I'm like, and it's the cover, and I'm like we went to the car and we put the pictures on the computer, and we're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome, and
That's crazy,
that's
though.
how it goes, like. So, and he shot a lot of my press photos.
Really?
And one of the other photos he shot is the girlfriend, like single cover. So,
It's all about trusting your instincts, I guess, right?
like I know right away if I like something or I don't, or you know, like, oh, well, okay, these are great photos, but the cover's not here. So what am I gonna do? So we just made it happen. Kind of funny. I'm like to my manager, is he gonna get paid? He should get paid. And now everyone's gonna want him to like shoot their cover.
Now you should just use him. Now you don't have any issues. You're like, it's gonna work. I don't need to hire someone fancy. He's better.
Sadly, with the photos and songs Wibbly and Lavigne created together will last forever, their marriage would not. Canada's pop-punk super couple would split in 2009 and finalise their divorce in 2010. But the two remain friends to this very day. In fact, Derek joined Avril on stage only a few weeks ago as this episode is being written to perform the Sum 41 classic In Too Deep live in Las Vegas. If you want to hear more about Sum 41 during their In Too Deep era, check out our episode in Season 2 for the crazy stories around their hit Fat Lip. The Best Damn Thing sessions were as much of a party as they were anything else, with Avril admitting that she was intoxicated throughout the production of a few of the songs, including Girlfriend itself, which we'll get into shortly. And she would constantly be overindulging in food and drink on the daily. Here she is recounting the tales of debauchery to Much's Leah Miller.
One time, I was at Ocean Way. It's a big studio here, and I had 2 rooms. I had one room with Rob Cavallo, one room with Luke, and it was like this huge party. I was like so excited to be working on my record. I'd like go in while Rob was recording the band, and I'd like give him my feedback, and then go run into Luke's room and like write down, like wrote the bridge of Girlfriend, and then ran back, and David Campbell's doing strings. There was like this party, and we'd be like drinking Jaeger and like literally running through the halls, like being stupid. It was just like so much fun.
You're probably so excited though, right? Because at least your creative juices are flowing and doing all those things.
It was, I always put myself in these circumstances where I always have too much going on at once, and that's kind of what I did. I was working with like 2 producers at the same time, like 3 different songs in the same day, but I always do that to myself. But
One particular drinking session even inspired a song lyrically. A verse in the track I Can Do Better was inspired by citrusy Italian liqueur limoncello, which Avril giddily recounted to Much's Sarah Taylor.
the studio, I took my time. We'd like order in like all this junk food, and for my song I Can Do Better, like the day we wrote it, I drank a half a bottle of limoncello. I don't even know what that is. Bottle. Limoncello is like this yellow liqueur. It's like Italian. I drank half a bottle. I was hammered, and then I was like, "Hey, we have to talk about limoncello in this song." So in the second verse, we're like, "I will drink as much limoncello as I can, and I'll do it again and again." So shout out to limoncello. And I mean, I had so much fun, and I think it really comes across on the record.
It does. Do you feel like
Avril would explain that these sessions were looser and more playful on purpose, as she still wanted to aim for relatability in her music, but more so in the sense that the songs would contain universal, easy-to-understand lyrical themes, as opposed to the heartfelt personal messages found in albums past, admitting to MTV. Some of the songs I wrote didn't even mean that much to me. It's not like some personal thing I'm going through, they're just songs. She would tell Sarah Taylor,
It's like good fun. It's not like, like my other records were like darker, like deeper, and so this is lighter, and it's just like,
More fun.
yeah.
Because on some of the tracks, you're actually literally laughing.
I'm totally laughing. I've always, sometimes you hear people's records that are like talking and like laughing. I've never done that before, but it just happened on this record. Like I was laughing and they were recording me, and so it's kind of cool.
With the tone of the album established and the frantic creative process perfected, it was time for a lead single that would truly reintroduce Avril Lavigne to the world. Lavigne had never had any problem catching people's attention with her music, but now she was ready to grab radio by the scruff of the neck with reckless abandon with a chant of 9 anthemic words. Hey, hey, you, I don't like your girlfriend. According to Avril, lyrically, Girlfriend started out as a joke, drunkenly shouting the anthemic chorus while goofing off during the Best Damn Thing sessions before eventually realizing it could actually be a single. Although they worked together for the better part of 4 months, Lavigne and Lucas Gottwald allegedly wrote the song in a mere 2 minutes together. Avril had literally just gotten married before jumping back into the studio to compose Girlfriend as well. So the irony of an anti-girlfriend bad girl song being her first single, all while still very much living out the honeymoon phase of her marriage in real life, made the track all the more intriguing to critics. Was there trouble in paradise? Is there some sort of deep-rooted confessional found in between the lines of this seemingly simple song? As Avril told Much, absolutely not.
I think that might be my new favorite. I love that song.
Thanks.
And it's funny because I was watching TV the other night, and I was like sitting at home, and there was all these like different news shows on, and they're like doing little stories on it. They're like, their new song, Girlfriend, this and this, and they're like, what is it about? It's just so weird. It must be weird.
It's not
for you
about anything. It's just one of those things
that you just write about.
It's just a topic. And it was kind of like it just came out of my mouth. That's what happens when I'm writing I just started going, I don't like your girlfriend, I think you need a new one. And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird, but that's funny. And then I just kept going with like a whole story. So that's kind of the beauty of like art, when you create something, when you're in the middle of, creating, you don't really know where you're going to go. And then you end up with like, either this painting or a song, and it's like, oh.
It works.
And then like everyone like asks you, what does this mean? And what is it's like, just really mean anything. But this record.
Superfluous or not, one thing is for sure. If you hear even just 10 seconds of Girlfriend at any time, in any place, it gets stuck in your head for hours.
And Girlfriend, the reaction has been incredible. It's that because like someone will hear the song once and totally remember the song.
Oh yeah, no.
And sing the chorus.
I think that might be my new favorite. I love that song.
Thanks.
And it's fun.
The song is the earworm of all earworms, like an endless supply of sour jelly beans that make your tongue feel raw, but you just can't stop eating. It's a sassy cheerleader-style anthem a la Gwen Stefani's Hollaback Girl or the 80s classic Mickey. Speaking of Mickey, I'd be remiss if I didn't admit that although the song is not a note-for-note rip-off, let's put it this way, it would make one hell of a mashup with the aforementioned Tony Basil anthem, am I right? Am I right? I'm winking right now, but you can't see it because it's a podcast. Critics from the likes of Rolling Stones, Slant Magazine, The Guardian, and Pop Matters all concurred with the Mickey theory, but it wasn't only the sing-song chorus that got credit for the song's addictiveness. Jody Rosen of Slate raved over Girlfriend's shout-along vocals, power chords, and hand claps amplified to the sound like an army on the march. John Perellis of the New York Times also dug the soundscapes, noting the cleverly manipulated echoes and attacks to sound as if Miss Lavigne were charging in from all directions. Not only was Avril coming at you from all directions on every radio station across the US and Canada, but the song quickly became a worldwide phenomenon as well. No word of a lie, Avril Lavigne recorded Girlfriend's super chorus in 7 different languages. There's Girlfriend, Spanish edition, French edition, Portuguese, Japanese, German, Mandarin. There was almost a Hindi version as well. But the meter didn't work with Hindi rhythm patterns. It might not need to be said, but you should take the time to hunt them down. They're simultaneously the greatest and most surreal things I've ever heard. Not everyone was pleased with Girlfriend, though. 70s band The Rubinoos filed a copyright infringement lawsuit against Lavigne, Gottwald, RCA Records, and Apple in mid-2007 on the grounds that Avril ripped off lyrics from their song I Want to Be Your Boyfriend. Lavigne, of course, denied the accusations, pointing out that lyrics like Hey You and the concept of wanting to be, not wanting to be someone's boyfriend are pretty common lyrical themes, citing hits like the Rolling Stones' Get Off of My Cloud and the Ramones song, also titled I Want to Be Your Boyfriend. A dueling set of musicologists were hired to analyze the songs, and surprise, surprise, the musicologist representing the Rubinoos members stated there was an unusually high degree of similarity between boyfriend and girlfriend, while Team Avril's musicologist reported that there wasn't any significant lyrical or melodic content. Eventually, to avoid legal proceedings, the opposing parties settled out of court, and Tommy Dunbar and James Gangwer of the Rubinoos released a statement wishing to completely exonerate Lavigne and Gottwald. After the settlement, Avril told Brazilian outlet Capricho, Gangwer and Dunbar didn't win, but that happens all the time in the music business. I'm not the first artist, nor will I be the last to go through this. Somewhere, Ed Sheeran is thinking, preach, sister. As well as being one of Avril's most immediately identifiable earworms, the music video for Girlfriend is also one of her most recognizable. Avril does triple duty in the music video, playing a mousy, spectacle-wearing redhead, a goth punk badass with jet black hair, and, well, regular Avril Lavigne, I guess, all living in the same universe, competing for the affection of a guy at an amusement park. Directed by veteran music video duo The Malloys, the three Avrils compete for the dude's affection in bumper cars, photo booths, and over an oversized churro. In the very climactic final mini-putt scene, Dark Avril smacks a golf ball directly into Bookworm Avril's head, and the definitely concussed ginger triplet falls into the nearby water fountain. She makes her way out of the water only to furiously lunge at the now smitten goth Avril with her boyfriend, only to miss them by a mile and roll into a conveniently open porta potty. Regular Avril mostly just sings through it all, sharing the stage with boyfriend without having to really try too hard to win him over. Best to stay out of the drama, I suppose. Now, if nothing I've just said is jogging your memory about the Girlfriend music video, and you seem to remember a lot more graffiti and a Barbie pink Mustang, then you, my friend, are thinking of the remix video co-starring late 2000s rapper Lil Mama. Avril and Lil Mama sat down with MTV to explain their vision for Girlfriend 2.0.
We actually came up with the treatment together, which was really cool. I think I had said, do you want to do like a big dance routine together where I have a gang of girls behind us?
About 10 girls. She was going crazy, like about 10, 12 girls.
Yeah,
like 10 is too much, right?
Two of us will be in the front. It'll be half hip-hop, half rock, and just like a mixture, like both our styles. And she was like, yeah, that's hot. Yeah. And then she's like, in like a car, and we're like both like hot pink, because I love pink. And I was like, yeah, and then we'll have our boyfriends in the car. So we kind of came up with this idea together, and then we called the director and told him, and he made it happen. I'm sure did.
This video, released a few months after the original, is much more song and dance performance focused and helped Avril further cross over into the hip-hop world and remains one of Lil Mama's biggest claims to fame outside her ubiquitous hit Lip Gloss. Personally, I prefer the clash of the Avril Clones original version, but what can I say? I'm a hipster like that, I guess. As you've probably guessed by now, Girlfriend became a #1 hit on nearly every chart it entered, topping Canada's Hot 100 and Hot AC charts, Billboard's Hot 100 and mainstream Top 40 charts in America, as well as charts in Australia, Hungary, Netherlands, Spain, and Sweden, to name just a few. What may surprise you, however, is that despite being everywhere and leaving such a lasting legacy, Girlfriend only survived a solitary week on top of the US Billboard chart, being knocked off by a different Lavigne, as in Adam Levine, with Maroon 5's Make Me Wonder quickly usurping it on the charts, and the song remains Avril Lavigne's only #1 hit. The song had absolutely no issue becoming a commercial success, going 4 times platinum in Canada, 7 times platinum in the States, and managed to sell over 2 million ringtones in the American, Canadian, and Japanese markets. Can you imagine being in a complicated situation and having, hey, you, I don't like your girlfriend, shout at you every time you got a text or a phone call? I say this a lot on the show, but the 2000s were weird, man. Girlfriend would clean up a wide variety of awards on the global scale, winning Best International Video by a Canadian and Favourite Canadian Artist at the MMVAs. It would win Most Addictive Track at the MTV Europe Music Awards and Best Song to Dance to at the Radio Disney Music Awards, but was robbed of the prestigious Best Song to Sing to an Ex at that very same show. Shame on you, Disney. The success of Girlfriend would help the release of The Best Damn Thing become a #1 album in the US, UK, and Canada, and it would only take 3 months for the record to go platinum. The Best Damn Thing would spawn 3 more singles over the following year or so, including the heartfelt ballad When You're Gone and the return to pop-rocky songs Hot and Best Damn Thing. In the years that would follow, Avril would release a slew of albums with a diverse array of musical influences, leaning in on the emotional material, sometimes more mellow, and certainly more personal. While none reached the superhuman heights of her first 3 records, Lavigne also dealt with quite a bit of adversity over the years, revealing a serious battle with Lyme disease back in 2014. In 2022, however, Avril returned in a blaze of glory to the devil-may-care pop-punk sounds of 2007 with a spiritual successor to The Best Damn Thing, the aptly named Love Sucks. Produced by pop-punk legends Travis Barker, John Feldman, and her at-the-time boyfriend Modson, Avril teamed up with the new class of hip-hop-leaning pop-punkers like MGK and Black Bear, as well as OG icon Mark Hoppus. Now in her mid-30s and opting for black and red motifs over Girlfriend's pink and white, the renaissance of Avril Lavigne has come at the perfect time, with Avril booking a massive Greatest Hits World Tour, and according to Setlist.fm, you already know what song she starts with when she hits the stage each night. Hey, you! I'm Miles Galloway, and that was the story of Girlfriend by Avril Lavigne on Encore, with new episodes every Thursday.
Encore is an iHeartRadio Canada podcast. Subscribe to this podcast on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts. Download the iHeartRadio app for more great podcasts just like these.